Good morning. We're at Lebak Bulus station today in South Jakarta, and this is going to be the starting point for today's ride, where I'm going to attempt to cycle the entirety of the Jakarta MRT network, which actually sounds quite impressive until you realize that there's actually only one line and 13 stations. That's number 1 of 13. Let's get going. Now, we're not off to a great start because I'm actually having to go back past the end of the line because we're in a one-way system. So I wanted to follow the line from start to finish, but turns out that's just not possible. Anyway, it is what it is. Oh, the last time I cycled down here was at the end of my disastrous ride back from Bogor to Jakarta. That was not a trip I want to be reminded of. The buses or the private hire coaches love those big crazy horns. I don't know if it's like because you're trying to add a bit of fun to the trip, or whether it's a kind of, hey, I'm a big bus, this is my sound, get out of the way, so people can recognize it. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you have any, or if there is indeed any logic to that. There's the MRT line just behind those trees. Over there. Back in sight. Let's go. There we have it. Station 2 of 13. Fatmawati Indomaret. So from now, we're just going to follow the line. But what you find is that a lot of these stations have sponsors. So like I say, Fatmawati there is sponsored by Indomaret, like one of the local convenience stores. The station before, Lebak Bulus, when I first moved here, was sponsored by Grab, like the sort of Asian Uber, I guess. So yeah, let's see what else we can find. Yes, into the cycle lane. No. It's good. Got your headphones in. Because you can't hear somebody coming behind you. Good man. Oh, man. I don't like this road at all. So many bumps. So many people just crossing into the cycle lane. Usually a lot of traffic as well, but it's a public holiday, so much less traffic on the road today. Sexy. In the cycle lane too. Sexy and smart. Station number 3. Cipete Raya Tuku. Tuku being I think it's Jakarta-based chain of coffee shops, which everybody raves about. It's pretty good. I've had better, but it's pretty good. 3 of 13. I hate cycling under these MRT station underpasses. They're just, everything is so amplified. The sounds are amplified. Everybody just beeps their horn a little bit louder. The engines sound a little bit louder. I don't know, it feels quite claustrophobic. But hey, what can you do? If it feels like I'm skipping past these stations in these areas, well, I am. Mainly because we're in this sort of urban residential part of the city. It's, well, part of the south of Jakarta. So I don't really know what else there is to do or show you around here, but if there is anything you would recommend I see, do, eat or drink, around Lebak Bulus, Fatmawati, Cipete, Hajinawi, just let me know in the comments. Here we are, station number 4, Hajinawi, and we're at what would be my home station, apart from the fact it's actually 2.5 kilometers away from my house, which shows how much of catching up Jakarta kind of has to do in that sense. It's still a very developing MRT system, so we're only on one line at the moment, and unless you are slap bang in the middle of the main sort of areas of the city, it's not really that convenient for you. Come on, mate, you coming or going? Jeez. I was always taught when I was learning to drive, don't undertake, but living here for a few years, often don't really have a choice. Must be quite embarrassing though when a cyclist is undertaking you. But how can you possibly be driving so slowly? Next station, Block A. Not to be confused with many of the other blocks. All very creatively just named after letters of the alphabet. How smart, well done. It's all about me, me, me. Don't care if I inconvenience anybody else. Let's just make sure I get to where I need to be. Perfect example again. It's okay though, they stick their hand out, and that makes everything okay. So that was Block A. Now we have Block M. BCA, sponsored by a bank as well, because one letter wasn't enough. Block M, B, C, A. I wonder what the logic is in having Block M next to Block A. Do let me know if you know. And less than half a kilometer down the road, ASEAN Station. Not sure what the logic is in having two stations so close together, but don't ask questions. Good job, nice one, mate. Just realized how terrible the air quality is today. Probably not a great day for cycling. That building in the distance, you can barely see it. Getting closer and it's still very, very smoggy around the buildings. God, could chew the air today. Just there is the next station, Senayan MasterCard. Don't need to explain to you what MasterCard is, I'm sure. Which one's that now? Is that 7 or 8? I've lost count. Here's the next one. Again, only about half a kilometer down the road, Istora Mandiri, which is also the station for GBK, the sports complex, which also houses the big football stadium and concert stadium. Kind of strange, they built a huge stadium up in the north of Jakarta, yet the national team still play at GBK. Again, I realise I'm asking a lot of logic on this video. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't really make sense to me, but hey ho. I do like this little bit of respite you get around here. Just seems to kind of come to an abrupt end. Unless I've missed a turn off. Oh well. That doesn't look too clever. Alright. See if anyone's nice enough to let me out. And we're back on the main road. I always struggle with the pronunciation of this one. Bendungan Hilir. I think Bendungan Hilir. Again, feel free to correct me in the comments. Only a few more to go now. We're almost there. When you get to this area, Jakarta just looks like, you know, any other global business hub, I guess. It's kind of cool. I do love that about Jakarta, you know, the combination of rural and city business, CBD kind of thing. It's quite charming. And just like that, Setiabudi Astra. Really getting into the city now. Maybe 2 or 3 more stations, then we're done. It's quite hard to believe that this is the exact same road where you have women dancing on a Sunday morning here. Car-free day, people cycling, people running. You've got Zumba going on over there. Yeah, different world. It's the man the road is named after, I think. General Sudirman. Should probably have fact checked that before I said it. So there's the airport train station, which means there's another MRT station very nearby. That's down there. It's Duku Atas, I believe. Yeah, Duku Atas BNI. Fucking beeping out. It's a hard thing to know in Jakarta because so many people beep their horn all the time. It's like, is he beeping at me? Is he beeping at someone else? Is he just beeping for the fun of it? I do actually feel like some people, there we go, perfect. But some people just beep because everyone else is doing it. The funniest one is when you're at a red light and it turns green, and then the millisecond it turns green, if you're not off the line like in Oscar Piastri, then you get like a chorus of people beeping their horns. It's like, mate, that's quite cool. Like, mate, what do you expect, man? Not an F1 driver. Bundaran HI station. So believe it or not, that's actually the end of the Jakarta MRT line. From Lebak Bulus to Bundaran HI, where I currently am, it's 13 stops, it's around 16 kilometers. Probably took me about 45 minutes. The roads are a little bit quieter today with it being a holiday. I think on a working day it would be a lot more hectic and a lot slower. So I think despite its limitations, the fact that there's only 13 stations and there's only one line, I think the MRT is probably still the best option when you take into account the midweek rush hour traffic. So I guess to put it to the test, I really need to do this route again on a weeknight when it's busy, when there's loads of people commuting. But I think I might need to build up a little bit of courage before I get round to that one.